Hello dudes and dudettes, and welcome back. Today I actually have decided we're going to start a series basically working from the ground up. I am deeper into the game and I thought about starting a secondary account so we can see it, but I am just going to explain briefly. So we're going to assume you just downloaded. The game looks great, the graphics are awesome, the community is active, and we have great guides. So the first thing, and this is straight from Game Loft, they recommend is priority 1, build a farmer. And that is where we're going to start this video today. Now for free, you are given Water Spearman. Now Water Spearman is an okay farmer. He is not the creme de la creme, but he will get the job done for you. Now, the thing about him is he's selfish, which is pretty good for a farmer. And what I mean by that, when you look at his skills, you'll see the first skill here is the auto attack skill. The second one, that is your first active skill, or skill 1 as it's referred to. Then we have skill 2 and then skill 3. As you can see, he doesn't really bring a lot of utility. He has some heals for himself. He has a provoke and he can raise defense for himself only. So he's a very selfish kind of guy, which works for farming. So if you're not lucky enough to get a different farmer, he will get the job done. Now, first I'm going to say is, well, who is a good farmer? Good farmer, easy to get because he's 3-star, is the Water Scan Berserker. He brings a lot more to the table. As you can see, he lowers attack. He also has bonus damage from attack speed as well as life stealing on skill 2. And he raises the attack and haste, and he has Undying. Now Undying's great. Basically, when he would normally be reduced to 0 and die, he doesn't. He keeps fighting. And with skill 2, since he has life stealing on here, plus we should be running all of our farmers on a Vampiric Set, which we'll talk about a little later. That means this guy is going to live and he is going to get the job done for you and bring a little bit of utility. Now, if you do get him and you pick up your Spearman, I would recommend foregoing the Spearman, not building him, and focusing on your Scan Berserker for your farmer. Now, if you're lucky and you pull a DPS-based Nat 5, depending on the Nat 5, that will also work. The Blade Masters are some of the best farmers out there. So if you do happen to pull one, even if you have already built a Water Scan Berserker or the Water Spearman, it would be beneficial to scrap those plans and focus more on your Blade Master. She is going to farm faster and better for you. So we've talked about farmers, we know about their skill sets. We know that Water Scan Berserkers are 3-star. This can be pulled from the common summons. While not an easy feat to get from here, it is possible. Since we've talked about it, let's look at gear. Now, we're going to take a look at my champion here. So what I'm running mine on is Vampire Vital, which is what the game recommends, and it's what you want to run your farmer on. The reason why is the healing is going to be needed. The minimal amount that you get from his second skill is not going to make up the damage that's being done to him when on the field. And then Vitality, of course, because you want to live longer. Now, what I recommend for your slots, shoulders, hands, and wrist is you want to stick to attack percentage. Now this isn't really a big deal because when you complete scenario 711 on normal, you are given a Vampiric Set with percentile on shoulder, hands, and gloves. So you want to use that set as soon as you get it. So the set that you're given for 711 actually includes percentile on these 3 key pieces. Also, the substats that it gives you are attack and crit percent on all pieces. If everything goes your way, hopefully it all ends up on attack percent. If it goes into crit rate, it's absolutely fine. Crit rate is awesome. You'll do more damage either way. I'm just a big fan of consistency in my farmer versus burst, because really you're just looking to kill things as fast as possible. And if you're more consistent, it usually works out. But in previous games, and I'm sure in this one, there is a very minimal difference between focusing on crit rate versus focusing on attack over the long run. In the short term, in like PvP, crit rate is preferable because you do want to burst people down. Because most of the times they'll just heal through consistent damage. So let's take a look. Where do we get that vampire set? Because it is a big deal. You get it from board 7, and once you clear it here. Now here's a tip. Unfortunately, I cannot replay this stage. In order to clear this, please feel free to add me. My in-game name is Valance. I do have a rule. I will kick people after 24 hours if you have been inactive. But even if you're unable to add me because I am full, you want to use the free friend that they give you on 7-Eleven. You want to save it for here. And what you want to do is you don't want to control that unit. You actually want to add it to your team, start the map, and then take control of your DPS or farmer unit if you have them. And then you just want to go, and all you do is kill the crystals that heal the boss. The fight is a little long when you do it this way, but it's also going to be successful. This is for anyone who has not been able to add someone with a good farm rep to be able to complete this. It's how I completed it, and it was with a team of 4 stars. I did pick up my Blade Master immediately after I cleared this, but even so, it is 100% doable with 3 or 4 stars as long as you add in the free friend that they give you to your team, and then take your DPS and just kill crystals. Never leave that area. Just crystal, crystal, crystal. The friend will take care of the rest. So that's what you want to focus on. Just to recap, first thing, select your farmer. And that can be either the free water spearman that you're given. It can be a water scan berserker. Or if you're lucky, it can be a 5-star DPS unit. 5-star tank units can work. They are a bit slower. But really, when you're farming, you are looking for speed. And that's another thing too. When you're looking at water spearman, he is not as fast as Scan Berserker when it comes to farming. So that is another factor, and that is why we're looking for a Nat 5 DPS unit versus a Nat 5 tanking unit. Speed. The faster you clear, the more experience you get. Now, how are we going to level that farmer? What's the progression path there? We want to go through the adventure to 7-Eleven as fast as possible and get that farming set. Once we have that farming set, I recommend farming Board 1 Scenario 3. Another good option that many others like is farming Board 1 Scenario 10 as a Scorpion. Even though it looks like it is nature-based, it is actually neutral. So any unit that you bring is going to do decent damage to it. You don't have to worry about elemental disadvantage here. So this is also a great option. You can't go wrong with either one. So the path, again, just to reiterate, is select and build a farmer, clear your boards up to board 7, get the Vampiric Set, and then farm. The reason why we're farming, you want to get to at least 5-star. Once you have your farmer at 5-star, then you want to switch over to Epic and go through all of Epic. By the time you're done with Epic, you should be almost close to max with your farmer. Now at max farming with no skill ups, Legend is going to be an adventure. You do want to utilize your friends, and it's here where you really want to advertise and look for friends to be able to use them to pull you through these. If you're having problems clearing this, then I would recommend going back to Epic, go back to board 1, and then keep working on scenario 10 or scenario 3, whichever you prefer. once you've actually got him the 5-star max, that is when the fun begins and you can start leveling fodder. We'll talk about foddering level, good places in another video. I just wanted to start at the beginning, and the beginning is the farmer. Thank you, dudes and dudettes, for watching. Stay frosty.
Thank you.